Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back with another video, and today Arsenal have just beat Bournemouth 3 goals to nil away from home. And need I say, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. But I'm not going to get myself way too carried away because it's just been the first 3 games of the season. But what a difference a year makes. Last season, when the season started, we did not win a single game in the first month of the Premier League. And now to win 3 games and three on the bounce, that hasn't been done since the 2004-2005 season. Massive credits to the boys today, as well as Arteta and the coaching staff for putting on a convincing performance and a very good performance away from home. Yes, you can say it was just only Bournemouth. We shouldn't get way too carried away or way too big for our boots, but we can only play what's in front of us, and we will continue to take each game at a time, putting our best foot forward and putting our best efforts in training, making sure it transpires on the pitch. And today, the fluid attacking football that we played, especially in that first half, not letting Bournemouth even get out of their own half, was incredible to watch and really, really a joy to watch. Before I get into today's match reaction, do make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'm currently 3 away from 2,800 subscribers, and I'm on the road to 3K. I do Arsenal and FPL videos, and I'm also featured weekly on FPL Casuals, a show where we talk about FPL analytics, team selection, rate my teams, as well as making fun of our game weeks if it goes wrong, and also praising other managers who do things right. We interview other managers across the world, some of the top 10, top 100K, and even the top 50K managers have been interviewed on there. So do check out FPL Casuals as well. Before I get into the match reaction, let me go ahead and run back that intro real quick. So, need I say, what a difference a year makes. Last year, we had the youngest squad in the Premier League. Players that had no experience whatsoever in the Premier League and adjusting and adapting to the Premier League. And as you saw in the Arsenal All or Nothing documentary, some of these players really felt homesick and struggled to adapt to London and struggled to adapt to the Premier League. With that being said, plenty changed at Arsenal in the last 12 months. And I know it was just Bournemouth, but today's game really highlighted the impact of Gabriel Jesus, William Saliba, a world-class young center back in the world, and he deserves a lot of credit. He was loaned out 3 times from Arsenal, finally got to prove himself in the Arsenal squad, and scored a magnificent first touch goal in the top right corner. Brilliant finish, and even better, a brilliant assist from Granit Xhaka today for that goal. His first Arsenal goal in his career, playing in the Premier League this season. And Zinchenko. The adaptability Zinchenko has is everything we've been crying for, we've been wanting, and we were missing in the past few years. With the same desire, attitude, hunger, and momentum, now our focus has to be Fulham at home, and we should never underestimate our opponent. We have to do our best to carry the momentum and intensity up against them. But first things first, let me go into the game. We scored 3 goals to nil, and Martin Ødegaard 2 times on the score sheet today. Hats off to all of you managers who brought him in your FPL, as well as brilliant assists by Granit Xhaka for the William Saliba goal. And then Martinelli as well got an assist under his belt. Great to see. And incredible fluid football today. Massive credit to William Saliba. First things first. The way he's very calm, composed, and at that age, as a center back, to have that kind of composure and still be solid in that back line as a center back, you don't see that kind of goals from a center back. That was a brilliant, world-class, sublime finish, and he deserves that. This player reads the game very well, and that Marseille loan definitely helped boost his confidence, get first-team football under his belt, and also play against Kylian Mbappe, and even against PSG. He nutmegged Kylian Mbappe, which was brilliant to see. And I'm really glad to see him play for the Arsenal and prove himself week in and week out that he is a quality center back. And it feels like a new signing for me, because the last time I saw him play for the Arsenal, he played a half game of a friendly against MK Dons, and that was a long time ago. With that being said, that finish for that goal was outstanding. And from a center back, you rarely see that. My fucking center back, William Saliba, I am very proud of you. And then we move on to Zinchenko. The adaptability Zinchenko has on and off the ball, but also the dynamic he has with the team. That goal reaction he had for William Saliba was most of us Arsenal fans this game. And he's another weapon to our Arsenal. He was able to adjust to the back line very well. And whenever we transition, he was always in the right positions, in the right areas, passing very direct, and he reads the game very well. Another thing that I noticed from him as well. Great to see him doing well for us. Granit Xhaka, to me, this match was an unsung hero yet again. Week in and week out, Granit Xhaka, give him the armband or don't give him the armband. To me, he's still a leader. And I know sometimes you can say he's very rash, and he makes harsh decisions. That's part of his passion and whatsoever in a game. And I know sometimes it's justified. I do accept that. However, today, you have to give credit to Granit Xhaka. Brilliant assist for that William Saliba goal, and a stunner strike from William Saliba for his first goal for Arsenal. Moving on to the second half of the game, finishing it off with the William Saliba goal. A brilliant curling second half shot in the top right corner from William Saliba finished any hopes for Bournemouth to even try to get back into the game. In the first half itself, Bournemouth struggled to get into the game. We were dominating the game. We were dominating possession, and they had very little possession. They could barely get past our defensive back line, which was very nice to see. Last season, you would have seen if we went a goal up, we would have struggled. We would have struggled to keep that lead, and we would often concede. Our intensity, when we start for the first 10, 15 minutes is up here. But after we score a goal last season, our intensity dropped, and we allow another team to get back into the game. And you noticed that a lot last season against smaller teams. Now, no disrespect to Bournemouth. They still gave it, whatever they could in the bag. However, it's another defeat for them back to back. However, let's focus on us, not on other teams. We still have areas to address in our own backyard. And as you saw in the press conference, Arteta did mention that this is not the level where Arsenal want to be or where he wants Arsenal to be. And we still will continue to improve week in and week out. When Arteta was asked about William Saliba's brilliant-esque finish today, he said, "It's normal. We've been practicing that all week in training." And that's what I want to hear from a manager. When Arteta was asked about upcoming signings in the window, he did mention that Arsenal are not done with signings, which to me means that we still need one or two more reinforcements to be one more level enhanced, and also to further strengthen this squad. We really need a midfielder. I feel we're light in midfield, and if Partey gets injured, we will struggle. And again, injuries could happen to any team. We need to be prepared, and we need to be proactive rather than reactive this transfer window. Another thing I will say is in January, Arsenal had the option of signing Vlahovic, signing Alexander Isak, and in January, we didn't sign a striker because Edu and Arteta really wanted Gabriel Jesus. They saw the player profile in Gabriel Jesus, and they knew that he was the one for us. They knew we don't want any other striker than Gabriel Jesus, and he's the one that's going to bring the intensity level, the dynamic, and some form of unity and cohesion from our midfield to our strikers. That finishing in the final third, we really struggled last season with certain games. Some games we would lead 2 goals, and then another team, the opponent would slowly get back into the game. And today's game, I realized we didn't even let Bournemouth get out of their own half. And that's what I love to see, and that's what I want to see more of. Now, when we go on to play big teams like Man City and Liverpool, even Man United at Old Trafford, we don't necessarily have a good record at Old Trafford. But what I will say is we need to be that 12th man in the stadium. And with that being said, we need to be supporting these players, supporting the manager week in and week out, giving our 110% to these players. we need to be there for them and we need to cheer them on week in and week out, win, lose, or draw. Arsenal till I die. And we even had a goal ruled offside, but it didn't matter to us today because we were already 3-0 up with Gabriel Jesus scoring a fourth. However, it was ruled offside. Unlucky for Gabriel Jesus, but he still had a stellar performance today. Yet again, he had to shine, as well as Zinchenko. It was great to see Ødegaard perform really well today. I know a lot of people, even in my match reaction last week at Leicester, playing at home, I mentioned how Ødegaard wasn't really as on the score sheet as we know, and he wasn't really as involved or direct in the game. So it was nice to see him flip the switch and wake up today, and really fired today. He was great today, and I'm really happy to see that, and I want to see a lot more from that from every single player in this Arsenal team. My credit goes to all the boys. This was a collective performance and a collective 3 points win, a massive performance for us away from home. And I know it was only Bournemouth, but we can only play what's in front of us. And I will give credit when and where it's due to each and every player who took part, who, gave us that winning mentality and hunger, and who continued to have that and show that and transpire that on the pitch. Takes a lot to do. Bournemouth had no momentum or intensity in the game. They even struggled at times to get the ball. They often misplaced passes and struggled to keep the ball in terms of possession in their half. They didn't really have much chances on target. Ramsdale wasn't as tested as much, you could argue, and they tried to build some momentum after the break in the second half, but William Saliba's stellar goal put any hopes of a comeback to bed really quick. For me personally, Ødegaard was my man of the match. Sorry, Ødegaard was my man of the match. Ødegaard had a brilliant, wonderful performance today and really deserved the man of the match. However, you could even argue someone like Gabriel Jesus or Zinchenko for man of the match, or even William Saliba. So I don't really say man of the match was fixed. I know Sky gave it to, I believe they gave it to Gabriel Jesus or Ødegaard, one of the two. And it was a sensational performance from this team. And I'm starting to see a very much so a culture change with this team that Arteta has built over the years since he's been here. He's changed the atmosphere. He's changed the dynamic and the culture that we had under the Arsene Wenger era, under the Unai Emery era. And to see that is incredible. The other thing I want to mention about Gabriel Jesus, if you guys noticed in today's game, was his dribbling is incredible to watch and really satisfying to watch. The spin on the first goal he assisted with Ødegaard. So that spin, the touch, the reverse passes, the dribbling, and the directness of his game, put that all together, and you have yourself an underrated striker. And I know some rivals were telling us when we signed him, oh, he's a Man City reject. He's not going to perform. He was warming up the bench for Man City. You overpaid for him, blah, blah, blah. Now we're finally hearing rivals say, oh, wow, Gabriel Jesus. Oh, is that Gabriel Jesus? That's what Gabriel Jesus does. And he really escalated and elevated this team. And one thing I will say is, though, as I said earlier, a left center mid and a winger, for me personally, a winger is more important. But I do feel that we need to improve in midfield, and we still need to strengthen in midfield. Thankfully, fingers crossed, the transfer window is not over yet. So I will be back here for transfer news if we are linked closely to someone from reliable sources from Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein. I'll be back here to report that to you guys. At the moment, I don't know who our mystery winger is, and there's not yet an update on Yuri Tillemans to Arsenal, so we just have to stay patient and wait for that. The window is still open, and I assume Arsenal are working hard behind the scenes. And speaking about the Arsenal All or Nothing documentary, I did a video on my last video, check it out on my channel, was the Arsenal All or Nothing episodes 1 to 8 review, and I gave my thoughts of the documentary, what I felt I liked the most, what I didn't like, and some minor criticisms on how it could have been improved. Let me know your thoughts of the documentary as well in that video, and let me know if you enjoyed it. The last thing I want to say is Arteta's Tricky Reds might be cooking something, but I know it was only the first 3 games. My focus is now on Fulham at home. It's not going to be an easy game. Fulham actually have some good players and dominated Brentford today. And I'm looking forward to see, how we will perform. I'm looking forward to see how we're going to step up to Fulham in terms of our tactics, in terms of our game plan, and whether we'll keep the same lineup. I think we'll keep the same lineup. I really hope Fabio Vieira gets a lot more game time to get him fully back into fitness, as well as another thing I need to say is I really hope Kieran Tierney, God bless him, I really hope he stays injury-free along with the rest of our players. And I know injuries are unavoidable. Hope for the best this season, and I really think we are off to a great start. 3 games, 3 wins, and 2 clean sheets so far, so good. And the only way is upwards and onwards for the Arsenal. Arteta even said in his press conference that this wasn't the level that we're expecting from the Arsenal. So he has higher expectations for us. And that's what I like to see in a manager. I'm impressed with, the way he's handled Arsenal from the times we had players like Kolasinac to players like Lucas Torreira and Pepe who didn't necessarily suit our system well or weren't used enough well in our system. And to now improve with players like Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus compared to Lacazette, last season, it's a huge improvement and it really transpires on the pitch. But that's all for my match reaction today. I really like the hunger, the drive, the passion, and the ambition from this Arsenal team. And I'm really struggling to find criticisms other than the fact that we still have some areas to improve. We always have room for improvement, no matter how good we are at the moment. We still have some things to work on, and we will work on them. I'm pretty sure in training, this team will continue to work hard and truly play for the badge. But with that being said, come on, you Gunners, and up the Arsenal. Well, I'll be back here next week for the Fulham at home match reaction, as well as my FPL game week 3 review. And oh my gosh, if I told you my bench has more points than my starting 11, you might not want to take advice from me for FPL anymore. Or I should take my own FPL advice because I told a lot of people to captain Ivan Toney. He scored today. For the whole week, I said I'm going to captain Gabriel Jesus. And last minute, when the deadline came, well, stay tuned. I'll let you guys know how that worked. But that's all for my video today. My match reaction of Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. 3 games, 3 wins, and 2 clean sheets. We're off to a great start. And make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and hit that bell notification bell to be notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload videos. Make sure to follow my socials. My Twitter is MissMelina7. If you have any FPL questions or want to talk about the Arsenal, just shoot me a message on Twitter, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend and enjoy the rest of the football. Adios, everyone. Bye.